Sgibs here for another exciting edition. It is not your den, it is not my den, but it is the Mad Den, aka also known as the Laser Show, the internet's most passionate show about John Madden football, 2011 sports, EA Sports. I did that last show too. Ready to kick it off with a bang. Show number 64. Big show today. A lot of things happening in the Madden community today. The big patch is finally out. The fifth patch. Things that are going to address a lot of different things. The pump fake glitch, the pause glitch, correcting zone defenses. But there's also a big stir because audibling and hot routing have been changed as well. And a lot of people are concerned about it. So when I got home today, I tried to get in and figure out a way we can try to make things a little better. Personally, I think that the hubbub around the audible and hot route isn't as bad as a lot of people have been making it out to be. I think that it's really workable. I think it partially made the game a little bit more realistic. So, that's never a bad thing as long as we can still play the way we want to play and still have the game be, a little more similar to how it is replicated on Sundays. So, today we're going to break and talk more so about the patch and the tips we're going to give about the hot routing segment. We're going to forego continuing the Lions. We're going to continue that with the next show, but I want to talk a little bit more about the zone and talk about how to properly make our hot routes now with the new patch. Before we get to that though, Patriots are rolling. My 13-3 prediction looks like potentially could be 14-2. Things are rolling. Tom Brady is playing lights out, and if you don't think he's the MVP, I want you to tell me a reason why. If you make a good enough argument, I'm going to send you an ebook. So if you make a good enough argument why Tom Brady doesn't deserve the MVP, I'll reward the man. So send it in. We'll get the party started. We'll do that. Patriots are rolling. Things are good. No big deal about that. Let's get into the breakdown. Let's learn about how we're going to be able to continue to do our hot routes with the adjustments made to the audibling system with this fifth patch. So we'll get a zoomy zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Alright, so I think that zoomy zoom about good is pretty good. Zoom. Now, for those that you don't know, again, this is MaddenBible.com. Follow me on Twitter, Sgibs7, show number 64. And this show is all about patch concerns. So, when you take a look at the way we were set up here. We're just in my base offense, the Dallas offense, 46 defense, Raiders on both sides of the ball. So the big concern is the following. So before you could make your hot routes, you could do all this, make your hot routes, and then you could motion a guy, for example, motion him, and then if you wanted to, you could audible to another formation real quick. During the motion. But now, if you send a guy in motion, you can't audible to another formation until everyone is set. So you can't go to and from formations while guys are in motion. As well as when you do make a formation change, you can't do quick audible. So you can still make adjustments to your play, but if you're the base plays, but you can't do quick audible. So one way around that, what we can do is, for example, if we take Shillings, we put him in motion. As you can see here. Now again, I'm trying to audible, but I can't until he's set. So once he's set, that's when I can make my audible. So we're going to go back to the original play. And this is how we're going to make a workaround, fellas. So now what we do is we motion Shillings, and say if we don't get a good initial read, we're going to flip the play twice. And when you flip the play twice, what it's going to do is send you back to the original play that you were in. So again, for example, I'm going to motion forward. Let's say for whatever reason I don't like my read, I don't like it, flip the play twice and it goes back. So it's pretty quick too as well. So another tidbit there is you motion it over, you don't like your read, flip the play twice, hold X, and it's going to force the guy to run back, sprint back to his position. Now let me show you what that'll look like too under center. A lot of guys have been saying, well, how's the strong close formation going to still work with the new audible system? So we're going to audible to quick toss, and we're going to hold down X. Guys are going to sprint to position. Now we see a quick toss, and before what we do is when we audible down, we just audible straight to the dive. And then we audible over Hayward Bay, and if we don't like the toss, then we just quick audible down to the dive. Now, again, same problem we were running into before. When a guy's in motion, we can't quick audible. So what we're going to do again is the same thing we were doing before. So we see quick toss, and we motion the guy over. Maybe we don't like our read, so again, flip the play twice, and now you go back.
This time, quick audible run down, motion him over. If you don't like the play again, flip the play twice. Now you could send the guy back motion. It's real quick. You can audible back to the quick toss. Maybe you don't like it again, so send him back over, flip the play twice, let him set, audible back to the counter. So this is the way you're going to work around it. You're going to flip the play twice if you want to go back to the original play. And what that's going to do is just going to speed things up. So now you no longer have to wait for Hayward Bay to clear all the way through the formation and then to audible to the formation that you want to call. So that's the workaround there. That's the big concern that I know a lot of people have been saying, is that there's just too much time. Can't get audibles and delay games, things like that. If you do this, you're going to have no problem with it. I already played a game online. It's really no problem at all. It takes, it's a little slower in the fact that, you can't make all your adjustments as quick, but you can adapt. You're going to adapt. You have to adapt. And it's really not that big of a deal, fellas. Now, the other thing I want to make a note is that when you come out in the Cowboy in, when the play call comes out, the play will be zoomed out. And then as, the time is deteriorating towards the snap of the ball, the screen will zoom back in. If you start making your hot routes, as soon as the play screen breaks, you can get all your adjustments in. So what I mean, all your hot routes. So typically against the man, I'll smart route my far right, I'll slant the slot receiver right, I'll streak the far left receiver, and then that's the setups I make for man. So what's going to happen is, if you start making hot routes as the screen zooms down, what's going to happen is your quarterback's going to start moving his hands and wiggling his hands. When that happens, you're not allowed to make a formation change or an audible change for 2 seconds. So the way we're going to bypass this is make sure you get all of your audible adjustments before the screen sets. And that can happen. I do it all the time. You have 7 seconds before that screen zooms down. So you can get all your adjustments in before that happens. If you guys have any questions, because I know this is kind of confusing, kind of hard to explain, so IM me. You can get me on Twitter. You can email me. A lot of different ways to get in touch with me. Email maddenbible@gmail.com, Twitter @Sgibs7, or message me on the forums. Want to go over these things with you. Make sure you guys all understand. Let's take a look at some of the zones though as well. I know a lot of the big concern is our zones improved. So I believe they are. So let me show you what cover 2 hawk. Standard play. Before, this wouldn't have stopped a 4-vert scheme. Now, the key thing is, you got to try and get pressure, because this will still even beat pressure. But that's what I want to see right there. I completed the pass, but the important thing is to see the depth that the purple zone got here. Before, that purple zone would have been nowhere near him, and it would have been just wide open. Now, if the DB made it, he actually went for the swat, which you never saw before either. So that's just a good sign in general. We'll show it again. The importance is that the zones now, they'll still get beat deep. But what happens is the zones get play at a deeper depth, and they allow for pressure to get to the quarterback. And at the same time, that's going to allow you to play zone defense, because you can rely on the zones to drop back and defend things that they couldn't before. Before, you had to get it out there, and it's very difficult before, if you want to play a cover 3 scheme to try and get pressure in. Let me see. Let me send pressure. So this time I'm going to send pressure. Send pressure. And we were covering the sidelines. So sending pressure. Before, you couldn't even run this because the zones just got beat. But now when you send a little bit of pressure, sideline, bad throw, the zone's there as well. So that's the scenario. We'll show that to you one more time. I don't think zones were improved dramatically, but they were improved a little bit. That's going to help you play zone defense, which in the grand scheme of things, opens a lot of things up for you. So here's the D again. Try the 4-vert because we think cover 3. Pressure gets there, and that's what happens right there. My purple zone made it before. Before, the purple zone wouldn't have made that play, and that's the big thing. Again, we'll show you maybe cover 2 hawk again. This is what it would look like against, a throw over the middle, zone over the middle, X. See the zone, again, still gets beat. So, while there are some things that we really like about the patch, there's some things that it didn't fully correct. So, again, we'll show you that. Here's the zone. I mean, the flat played that well. Pretty much plays it well every time. But, if there are any questions, guys, I just want to make sure you guys saw that main portion, first part of the show today. That's the big part. That's going to be a lot of the issues that a lot of guys are going to be having lately. And I know I'm going to be going over this again and again and again. So feel free to get in touch with me whatever way possible. But for another great show, guys, I am Sgibs. I am your host. It is not your den. It is not my den. But it is the Mad Den. You and me together, a whole lot of you, and only a little tiny part of me. We're changing the Mad community, aren't we?